Welcome back, everybody. We're here on the beautiful Greek islands and we're here to do a full body mat Pilates class. Let's get started. Okay, laying on our backs, we'll just place our hands on our belly. Our feet are hip width distance apart. Our back is in neutral, shoulders pulling back and down and chin tucked in. Just going to inhale through the nose, let the belly rise. Exhale through the mouth. Let the belly fall and draw in your T-zone. We'll do this 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let it go. Last time, inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Draw the T-zone in. Beautiful. Okay, we're just going to go into your hamstring stretch. So keeping the back in neutral, T-zone on, drawing one leg towards you. So you want to keep that back in neutral and you want to keep the hips nice and square. So you don't want the hips tucking up off the mat or the hips rocking. You can grab the back of the thigh, the back of the calf, wherever's comfy, and draw that leg towards you. You're trying to keep the leg straight, but if you need a soft bend in the knee, that is okay. Lovely. Let's cross that ankle over the opposite thigh and go into your glute stretch. Flex that foot back towards your shin. This may be enough for you. Otherwise, you're reaching through, grabbing the back of the leg and drawing the legs towards you. Good. Stretching out through your glutes. Like I always remind you, you should be relaxing into the stretches. You shouldn't be forcing the muscle. Beautiful. All right, let's swap sides. So we'll go straight into the glute stretch of the other side. So crossing the ankle over the thigh, flexing the foot back. This may be enough. Otherwise, reaching through and drawing the legs towards you, stretching out through your glutes. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, see if you can stretch a little further. And like I always remind you, please do not work through any pain or discomfort. If you're feeling any pain or discomfort through your back, neck, hips, or joints, please note you should not be feeling it. So please stop the exercise, reset your form, listen to my cues. If you're still feeling discomfort or pain, please come back to an easier version or skip that exercise for today. Okay, into your hamstring stretch on the other side, feeling a nice gentle stretch down the back of the leg. Remember to keep the hips nice and square and tailbone on the mat. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, let it go. And if you don't know what I mean by your T-zone, please refer to my Pilates Basics video, which will be linked below. Lovely. Okay, both feet on the mat, hip width distance apart. The back stays in neutral. Inhale, T-zone. Let one leg fall out to the side. Exhale, draw it back to the starting position. We're just warming up the core, getting in contact with those deep core muscles. So all that is happening here is the leg is falling out to the side with control, and the T-zone is working to keep those hips nice and stable. Excellent. Shoulders should be relaxed back and down. Chin should be tucked in. Good. I know this is a nice gentle exercise. We're just connecting with your core muscles. Lovely. You should only be going as far as you can without letting the hips rock. That's it, really scooping and flattening out that T-zone. Beautiful. One more each side. And bringing the knees back to center. Beautiful. Interlace your hands behind your head. Shoulders should be pulling back and down. Elbows are wide. Chin is tucked in. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, you're going to curl the body up, drawing your ribs to your hips, keeping that back in neutral. Inhale to control back down. Beautiful. Exhale to curl the body up with control. Inhale to come back down. Good. Using your core to draw yourself up, not your arms. The arms should be staying wide. The head should be relaxing gently into your hands. Beautiful. Exhale to curl the body up. Inhale to control back down. Beautiful. Really drawing the ribs to hips. Excellent. Exhale to curl the body up. Inhale to control back down. To make it harder, you can curl the body up higher. Just remember to keep that back in neutral and not pull on your head. Keep those elbows wide. You're using your abdominals to curl you up. Lovely. Legs should be relaxed on the mat. Excellent. Let's go into your oblique curl. So now right rib cage comes across to left hip bone, and then you're controlling back down. And the other way, left rib cage to right hip bone and come back down. Good. Hip should stay nice and stable. T-zone is scooped and flattened. Excellent. Drawing the rib cage and the shoulder across, not the elbow. If you think elbow, generally it tends to make you pull the elbow forward. You want the elbows to stay wide, shoulders to stay back and down. Good. Really flattening out that T-zone. Warming up the core. Are you feeling all those ab muscles? Good. Again, to make it harder, you can curl the body up higher, just as long as you're keeping the T-zone scooped and flattened and keeping the form elbows wide. Last one, each side. Excellent. All right, hugging those knees in for a moment. Just giving yourself a nice hug. You can sway side to side for a little back massage. Fabulous. All right, legs coming into tabletop, squeeze together. So remember, when your legs are in tabletop, we need an imprinted spine. So imprint your spine and draw your legs up into your tabletop where the knees sit above your hips, and we have a 90-degree at the hips and knees. Squeeze those legs together. Interlacing those hands behind your head again. Elbows wide, shoulders back and down. And we're going to go back into your abdominal curls. So inhale, T-zone, exhale, curl the body up, ribs to hips. Using your abdominals to pull you up. Exhale to curl up. Inhale to control back down. Keeping those knees right above your hips. Keeping the 90 degrees at the hips and knees. Again, you can curl up higher to make it harder. Just make sure you're keeping the form. Beautiful. Squeezing those legs together. Keeping the elbows wide. And the head and upper body are relaxing as much as you can. Keeping the chin tucked in. Beautiful. Let's go one more. And then come back to a knee hug. Lovely. Okay, we're going to interlace the hands back again and curl the body up. Going to hold this position. So this time your legs are hip width distance apart. From here, we're going to extend one leg out at a time, bicycle legs. Now, just note, you really need to keep that imprinted spine so the back is not arching. You do not want the back to arch as the leg goes out. You want to keep that imprinted spine T-zone tight. And you want to really curl the body up. So this supports your head. If you're back here, you definitely won't be supporting your neck. So exhale to extend the leg out. Inhale to bring it back. Please note you can make it easier without going out as far, and you can go higher. Otherwise, to make it harder, you really extend the leg low and far, again without arching the back. If there's any tension through the neck, we just rest the head and upper body on the ground, no problems. Again, keeping the knees in tabletop, knees sitting above your hips. Beautiful. Exhale to lower, inhale to draw it back in, really keeping that imprinted spine and T-zone flattened. Beautiful. We only have 3 to go. Really curling the body up if you're in the curled position. Last one. Well done. Hugging out those knees. Beautiful. Legs back in tabletop, knees sitting above your hips. This time your hands are above your chest. All right. Legs are squeezed together. We're going to inhale T-zone, exhale, curl the body up. Hands come past your hips and legs extend to the sky. Again, squeezing together. Really scoop the T-zone, shoulders are pulling back and down. Inhale to come back to that starting position. Exhale, curl the body up. Sweep the hands past your hips, really extending through the arms and legs. Inhale to come back down. Well done. Curl the body up. Make sure your bottom, your tailbone is staying on the mat. It's not tucking up off the mat. Make sure your spine is staying imprinted and keep those shoulders pulling back and down. Good. If your hamstrings are super tight and you're finding you're not able to get the legs up without letting the tailbone come off the ground, just keep your legs in tabletop like this. No problems at all. Beautiful. Otherwise, curl the body up, extending the legs towards the sky or ceiling. Beautiful. Really lengthening through your limbs. If you are double jointed, just keeping those limbs nice and soft. Lovely. One more. Lovely. Now, the next one is a little bit challenging, but I'll give you some options. So we're going to curl it up again, holding that curled position with the legs towards the ceiling or sky. Shoulders back and down here. From here, we're doing scissors. One leg lowers at a time. You can make it easier by not lowering the leg as low. You can make it harder by really lowering the leg as long as the back is not arching. Also, any tension through the neck, please just lower the upper body to the mat and continue on. Really important here to keep the rib to hip connection so the back is not arching. Again, if your hamstrings are tight, you can have a slight bend through the knees, but really try to keep the knees above the hips. Lovely. There should be no tension through your lower back or neck. We only have 2 to go. Really slow and controlled. Well done. Hug those knees in. Little massage. Inhale and exhale. Let it go. Beautiful. All right, we're going to keep your feet hip width distance apart on the mat with a neutral spine. We're going to go into glute work. So T-zone tight. Inhale. Exhale, you're going to tuck the tailbone under and roll up the hips one vertebra at a time, coming into your pelvic curl. Now you want the hips to come as high as you can without arching the back. So really keeping that tailbone tucked and rib to hip connection. Good. Inhale at the top. Exhale to roll it down one vertebra at a time. Really good. Remember to keep your feet hip width distance apart and the knees in the same direction so the knees aren't winging out or collapsing in. Pushing through the heels, squeezing your glutes to roll it up. Nice articulation through your vertebra. Beautiful. Shoulders should stay back and down, chin tucked in. Excellent. So rolling it up one vertebra at a time. Inhale at the top. Exhale to roll it back down one vertebra at a time. Fabulous work. Keep it going. Exhale to roll it up as high as you can. Again, as high as you can without arching your back and keeping that rib to hip connection. You're aiming to get a nice straight line from the shoulders to the knees. You may feel a stretch through the front of the legs. That's perfectly normal. If there is any tension through your lower back at the top, you may want to come not as high. No problems. Beautiful. Let's hold this next one up. Beautiful. Now we're just going to exhale, widen the knees slightly. Inhale to draw it back in. Keeping the rib to hip connection, keeping the T-zone tight. Just pushing through the heels, squeezing the glutes, working all those glute muscles. Beautiful. Are you feeling your booty? Excellent. Keeping those hips as high as you can without arching the back. Keep the rib to hip connection. Exhale to open. Inhale to draw it back in. You can widen the knees slightly wider. Just remember you want to keep that T-zone scooped and tight. Fabulous. We have 3 more openings. Are you feeling your glutes? Good. One more. Bring those legs back to center and stay there. Please take the rest whenever you need today. Otherwise, push through one heel, squeeze the glute, and extend the other leg towards the sky. Beautiful. Swapping legs. Keeping the glutes activated. We really want to keep the T-zone tight and hips stable. If your hips are rocking side to side, please just go back to your openings and we'll build up your glute strength. Good. Otherwise, exhale, lifting that leg towards the sky. Inhale to place it back to the ground with control. Beautiful. Are your shoulders relaxing back and down? Is your chin tucked in? Really good. Keep those hips lifted. Keep them nice and stable. Lovely. Your T-zone and core is working super hard. Fabulous. We have one more. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Beautiful. Feet back to the mat. And please make sure they're hip width distance apart. We're just going to go into tiny little pulses, lowering the hips slightly and lifting, using your glutes. Just little lowers and lift. Good. Little pulses at the top. Make sure it is all glutes. Beautiful. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Excellent. We have 5 to go. Squeezing those glutes. 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding at the top. And then exhale, roll it all the way down, 1 vertebra at a time. Well done. Excellent. Rolling it up. We are going into your clams. Now with the clams, we have 2 options. I am on my elbows with my elbows directly under my shoulders in a nice neutral spine. Now, you can either be in this position or lay all the way down with your head resting on your hands, still with your hips stacked and neutral spine. This will be easier on your neck and help the glutes fire. Otherwise, if you want to advance on, elbows under shoulders, still in that beautiful neutral spine, hips stacked. And we want a nice straight line, feet, glutes, and elbow at the back of the mat. Nice straight line. Okay, inhale T-zone, exhale, squeeze your heels together, squeeze the glutes and open the leg. Inhale to control back down. Make sure your T-zone is tight, your hips are staying stacked so your hips aren't rocking all over the place. We want to make these outer glutes fire. Exhale to open. Inhale to control, back down. Good. Keeping the shoulders pulling back and down. This is really important, especially if you're in this position on the elbow. You don't want to be collapsing like this. We want to keep those shoulders back and down, building a nice, beautiful posture. Good. Making all those shoulder stability and posture muscles work, building a beautiful posture for your body. Remember, the body adapts to what you put it through. So we need to train with beautiful form and a lot of control to make all those right muscles fire. Good. Exhale to open. Inhale to control, back down. Beautiful. The next one, we're going into your clam kick out. So open and then extend the leg in line with the rest of the body, no lower than hip height. Inhale and then exhale. So inhale to open, exhale to extend. Using these glutes, inhale back to feet together and then exhale to lower. Really firing up these outer glutes. Again, the hips should not be rocking and you should be feeling it in these outer glute muscles. If you're not and you're feeling it too much down the side of the leg, I would recommend either laying all the way down, that can help. Otherwise, just sticking to your clams and strengthening out these outer glutes. Beautiful work. Keep those hips stacked. We don't want to be sagging. Push that top hip away to keep the hips stacked and the spine in neutral. Beautiful. Have you got 2 more in you? Inhale, exhale, squeezing the glutes. To make it harder, you can go higher and further back with that leg, just as long as your hips are not rocking. Beautiful. All right, laying all the way down. Again, hips are stacked, gap between the waist and the floor to keep that spine in neutral. We're going into rectangles, so opening up that leg again. The leg is long in line with the rest of the body. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, you're going to draw the leg back and up. Inhale to come forward and down. Really firing up these outer glutes. Good. Keeping the hips nice and still and the shoulders pulling back and down. I'm going to pop my hand here because the sun is bright for me today. Good. So we're drawing a rectangle using those glute muscles. Exhale to go back and up. Inhale to come forward and down. Well done. Exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale. Really pushing that top hip away to keep the hips stacked. You want to keep the hips nice and still, so lock in that T-zone. Are you feeling your glutes? I am. Remember, to make it harder, you can go higher and further back. Again, as long as you're not arching through your lower back and the hips rocking. Good. We have 3 to go. Squeezing those glutes. Please make sure your knees facing straight. It's not turning up or down. That's it. We have 1 to go. And bring it back in. Well done. Okay, this time we're going into your 90-degree clam. So we have a 90-degree at the hip and knee. Hand can be out in front or again on the hips, pushing that top hip away to keep the hips stacked and the gap between the waist and the floor. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, squeeze your glutes and squeeze the heels together and open those knees. Inhale to control, back down. Try not to rest at the bottom. Exhale to go up. Inhale to go down. Well done. Keeping the shoulders pulling back and down. The upper body should be nice and relaxed. Lovely. We're working deep into these external hip rotators, so you should be feeling it nice and deep in here. Good. Exhale. Inhale. Beautiful. Now with this one, I often see people tucking their tailbone under, their bottom under, and they're losing their neutral spine. So you can even feel your lower back. You should have your neutral spine, a slight curve in your lower back. You shouldn't be rounding your bottom under. Exhale to open. Inhale to control, back down. Excellent work. So good. We only have 2 to go. Well done. Are you feeling your glutes? All right. Just last one in this position, we're going into your bent leg raise. So keeping that 90 degree. We're just going to lift that top leg and lower. Good. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Excellent. I am seeing my beautiful Greek stray cat who has befriended me, and I can't believe he's coming down on the beach to say hello. You'll hopefully see him in a minute or two. Hey, Squirt. He is the most beautiful, loving cat. If you didn't see my short, I would recommend checking it out. Hey, darling. We have 3 to go. Hello. 2 and 1. Slowly lower. Well done. Are you feeling those glutes? Excellent. Hello, darling. Hello. All right, we've got to do all that on the other side. So we're going to prop yourself up on the elbow. If you're up on the elbow on the other side, please attempt to do the same on this side. Nice straight line from your elbow to your hips to your feet. And we're going into your clans. So inhale, T-zone, squeeze your heels together. Exhale, squeeze the glutes and open. Hello. Good. Shoulders pulling back and down, chin tucked in. Good. Exhale to open. Inhale to lower. Wow. What a cat. Honestly, he's absolutely adorable. Good. Exhale to open. Inhale to lower with control. Really firing up these outer glutes. Beautiful. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Really good. Keeping those shoulders pulling back and down, lengthening through the spine. Keep the hips stacked. We have 2. We have 1. The next one we're adding into your kick out. So inhale, exhale to extend the leg in line with the rest of the body, no lower than hip height. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keeping those shoulders pulling back and down. Keeping the hips nice and still so your hips are not rocking all over the place. Good. Again, you should be feeling it through the glutes, not so much down the side leg. We want to fire out these external hip rotators. So if you are feeling it too much down the side of the leg, no problems, just go back to your clans. We have 1 more kick out to go. Excellent. Well done. All right, laying all the way down. Resting your head on your arm. Again, stacking the hips, neutral spine. We are going into your rectangles. So we're going to extend the leg in line with the rest of the body. Inhale, T-zone, exhale to go back and up. Inhale to come forward and down. Really firing up these outer glutes. Good. To make it harder, you can go further back and higher. As long as the hips aren't rocking, the back isn't arching, the bottom isn't tucking under and moving all over the place. Keeping that back in neutral, keeping the shoulders back and down. Fabulous work. We have 3 to go. We have 1. Well done. Bringing the leg back in. Well done. We're going into your 90-degree clams. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale. Squeeze the heels together. Squeeze the glutes and open the knees. Inhale to control back down. So good. Exhale. Inhale. Really firing up these external hip rotators. Are you feeling it? Lovely. I hope you're enjoying today's workout as much as I am. I love hearing from you and hearing your comments. Please feel free to request more workouts. I am here for you, so please let me know what you're wanting. All right, last one. Fabulous. We are going into your bent leg raise. So keeping this 90 degrees, T-zone tight, hips are stacked, gap between the waist and the floor. Inhale, T-zone, exhale, lift. Inhale to release. Beautiful. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Keeping that nice neutral spine. Keeping the hips stacked. Keeping that gap between the waist and the floor. No sagging. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Should be nicely working these glutes. Remember, there should be no pain or discomfort through your back, neck, hips, or joints. So please, if you're feeling any discomfort, take a rest, reset, listen to my cues. If you're still feeling it, skip that exercise for today and go back to an easier one. Well done. They are done. Oh, the beautiful cat is playful and nearly knocked over my camera. Cheeky little rascal. All right, coming onto your all fours. We're just going to go into your serratus anterior activation. So hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Elbows are soft. We are just going to keep that back in neutral, lowering the spine and then lifting the spine to meet the shoulder blades. This is working your posture muscles. It really helps to prevent those shoulder blades from winging. Good. So just lowering the body, keeping that spine and neck in neutral, and then lifting. Beautiful. You should be feeling it basically under your shoulder blades, underarms. Good. Sorry, my hair is hanging. Beautiful. So squeezing to push the ground away and lift the spine to meet those shoulder blades. We have 2 to go. Nothing is moving, but the back is lowering and lifting. Well done. All right, we're going into your horse kicks. So remember, with the horse kicks, we want to keep most of the weight through the knees. Hands are under the shoulders still, but there's not a lot of weight in them. Keeping that neutral spine, so no sagging. Lift. Now from here, we're going to hover one knee off the mat. You may want to bring the other knee slightly into the center line. Remember, T-zone tight, ribs to hips, so your back isn't arching. We're going to lift and hover the knee, and then exhale, extend the leg out. Inhale to bring it back to that hover. Exhale to extend it out. Beautiful. Keeping the weight back through that back knee. Really firing up both glutes. Good. Exhale to extend. Inhale to bring it back. Now to make it harder, you can kick out higher and further, but just make sure when you're doing so, you're not arching through your back like this. You're really keeping the T-zone tight and rib to hip connection so the back stays in neutral. Good. You often see a lot of people doing these ones when they do this exercise. We want to really stabilize the spine using the core. Excellent. We have 3 to go. Remember, when the knee comes back to hover, it should be just hovering off the mat. If it's up too high, you know your hips are swayed off to the side. We want to keep them nice and square. Beautiful. Let's hold this next one up. We're going into pulses. So we're going to keep the leg straight. We're going to lower the leg towards the ground and then lift. Lower and lift. Again, keeping that neutral spine, no sagging, and no arching through the lower back. You need to really lock in your T-zone and keep the rib to hip connection so your back does not arch. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Are your shoulders pulling back and down? Is your chin tucked in and lifted? Lifting your head away from the mat so it's not sagging down here. Good. Keeping the weight back through that back knee. All right, if you're willing to add on, lower the leg towards the floor, extend the opposite hand out. We're going to inhale T-zone, exhale, lift both limbs and lower. Inhale, exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Keeping the weight back through that back knee as much as possible. Good, you have 3 to go. Good, really keep the rib to hip connection, T-zone tight. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. We have 1 more. And bring them back in underneath you. Well done. Let's come up on your knees and shake out those shoulders. Let's roll them back a few circles. And then let's roll those shoulders forward. How beautiful is it here today? I know the waves are noisy. I hope you still can hear me clearly and it's not too noisy for you. All right, back to that all four position. We're going into your other side. So hovering one knee off the mat. Remember, the opposite knee can come in slightly. Weight through the knees, neutral spine, shoulders pulling back and down. T-zone is tight. Exhale, we're going to extend the leg out. Inhale to bring it back in, keeping everything still but that limb. Good. Remember to keep the weight back through the back knee so that glute has to stabilize. Keep lifting the spine. Exhale to extend. Inhale to draw it back with control. Back to that starting position where the knee is just hovering a centimeter off the mat or less. Good. Are your shoulders pulling back and down? You're really locking in your rib to hip connection. T-zone is tight. Good. We have 2 to go. Are you feeling your glutes? Let's extend the next one up and hold it. We're going into your pulses, really working those glutes. So lowering the leg and lifting. Again, it should be glutes. There should be no moving through your lower back. You should keep the rib to hip connection, feeling those obliques work to keep that position. You definitely don't want to be doing these ones. Good. Lock it in. Good. Keeping the weight through that back knee, keeping the shoulders pulling back and down. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Hips should be staying nice and square. We have 2 to go. We have 1. Lower the leg towards the ground, just resting. Opposite hand comes forward. We're going to inhale T-zone, exhale, lift, and then lower. Good. Keeping the weight back through that back knee. Keep everything super still. No arching through your back. Good. Shoulders pulling back and down. T-zone is tight. We have 3. Keep lifting the spine, no sagging. We have 2. We have 1. And bring that limbs back in. Well done. Are you feeling that? We're just going to go into a neck stretch. So lengthening that up, those arms, shoulders are pulling back and down, spine is long, chin tucked in. Just going to lower that head towards the side, feeling a nice stretch. Release down the side of the neck. Inhale, T-zone, exhale. See if you can stretch just a tiny bit more. Beautiful. Over to the other side. So lengthening first and then over to the side. Good. Inhale, T-zone, exhale. See if you can stretch just a little bit further, not too much. Back to center. Well done. Okay, we're going into your plank series with some push-ups to start. So hands are at the edge of the mat. You can keep more in that quadruped position to make it easier, but otherwise you're trying to get a nice straight line from the knees to the head if you're on your knees, or you potentially could even come up to your toes to do toe push-ups. I'm staying on my knees today. So hands at the edge of the mat, shoulders pulling back and down, chin tucked in, spine is lifted, we're not sagging. Okay, inhale, we're gonna lower towards the ground, 3 levels. Inhale, 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 and then 1 drive up. So 3 levels to get down, lowering the chest between the hands. Exhale to drive up. Beautiful. Try not to stick your bum up in the air. Try not to let the hips sag. Keeping that nice neutral spine, T-zone tight, and ribs to hips. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale to drive up. Good. Beautiful. To make it harder, you can go deeper. Again, keep the form. Beautiful. 3 to go. 2 to go. 1. Well done. Let's send it back into a prayer stretch. Just have to get rid of my pebbles. So lengthening out those arms, sending the hips back towards your feet. Really lengthening the arms. You should feel a nice stretch through the underarms and maybe lower back if it's tight. Okay, we are so close to finishing, but we're not done yet. We're going to come into your high plank and pike your hips up to a downward dog. So locking in that high plank position, T-zone is tight, shoulders are directly over your wrists, and a nice long neutral spine, no sagging, keep lifting. All right, inhale, T-zone, exhale, you're gonna pike the bottom up. If you're in a room, to the back corner. You can keep the knees soft if you like. You just wanna really try to keep that neutral spine. Good, inhale, coming forward, high plank, shoulders back and down, chin tucked in. Exhale to pike the bottom up. Really good, keep that going. Inhale, make sure when you come into that plank position, you're not sagging, dumping through the lower back. Keep the rib connection, keep a nice straight line from your feet to your head, crown of the head. Good. Soft bend in the knees is okay. Keep that back in neutral so the back is not rounding. Good. We have 2 to go. We have 1 to go. Coming back to that high plank position, lowering the knees, send your bottom back into a prayer stretch. Well done. Lengthening through those arms. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, see if you can release a little more. Beautiful. Coming back up. You're up to your last exercise today. You are doing so good. I hope you're feeling super proud of yourself. Okay, please note if it is too much, you can always come into a knee plank, just holding this position, no problems. Otherwise, one leg at a time into high plank. Just going to crawl up onto my mat better. Okay, from here, we're just going to draw one leg towards your chest and then exhale, place it back where you got it. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Really keeping that back in neutral. T-zone is tight. Ribs to hips so you're not arching your back. When the knee comes in, try not to let the bottom tuck under. Keep that spine in neutral. Keep the hips nice and square so they're not rocking all over the place. Really good. Stay with me. You have about 10 seconds to go. Good. If you want to make it harder, you can run it out a little bit faster. You got 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep the shoulders over your hands. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So good today. I hope you loved today's workout as much as I did. How beautiful is it? A few stretches to finish. All right. So we'll just come into your all fours to do your cat-cow. Knees under hips again, hands under shoulders. Nice neutral spine. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, you're going to round the back, drawing your ribs toward your hips to round the back. Inhale to come back to that starting position and to reverse it slightly, but please don't dump through your lower back or hyperextend the neck. We're just going to come, keeping that rib to hip connection and eyes towards the front of the mat. Exhale to round. Inhale to reverse slightly. Shoulders pulling back and down. Exhale to round. Inhale to reverse slightly. Eyes to the front of the mat. Shoulders back and down. 2 more. Fabulous work. Last stretch today is our glute stretch. So we are doing our pigeon stretch. You're going to cross one leg over across your mat and then lengthen the back leg as long as you can. We're trying to keep this glute on the mat. I'm a little tight in this position, so please forgive me. But we're going to either stay in this position, or if you want to make it harder, you can come down on the elbows or even rest the head onto the hands. Beautiful. You should not feel any discomfort through your knees. If you are, I would suggest fixing. See if you can align that shin across more. You can even potentially put a cushion under your glutes or even lay on your back and do the glute stretch we started off with. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale. See if you can relax into the stretch a little more. Now, if you feel your body needs a little bit more of this stretch today, you are more than welcome to stay a little longer. But otherwise, if you're coming with me, let's swap sides. So crossing one leg over in front. Trying to lengthen that back leg in as long as you can. Feeling a nice stretch through your glutes. And you can either come down to your elbows or even forehead to your mat. Inhale, T-zone. Exhale, see if you can stretch a little more. Beautiful. And slowly coming on up. Well done. I hope you're feeling amazing and ready to take on the rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed the workout. Please like and subscribe if you did, and if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now. See you guys.